Hello, this is Sonja from My Happy Space. Welcome back at my channel. We're going to make this fun envelope style junk journal today. So this is the final product. So I'm going to take you on this journey. So if you want to see how I made it, it wasn't always successful. It gave me a little bit of a headache. Please keep watching and we'll make it together. So when you find your illustrated fave printables, you can choose if you want printed spread, or I can't remember how the other one is, but I usually use spread. But today we're going to cut it in half because obviously we're going to make this junk journal style. As I said, it gave me quite a lot of nightmares, but yeah, you can learn from my mistakes so you don't have to make the same mistakes. So what you need 3 office envelopes, which we're going to slide in together. I'm going to show you in a little bit later how I'm going to do that properly. So you create this cover almost like a traveler's notebook cover for your junk journal. So here's your first 2 envelopes. You just slide it in. And then I'm going to use obviously liquid glue to connect it. This idea I got from various YouTube videos or channels. One of my favorites, as I said before, is 49 Dragonfly. She made one recently now, and I've just converted into a Bible journaling element. Or yeah, it's just nice that you can use all these lovely ideas you get from YouTube channels, and then you can use it and you can convert it into a Bible journaling spot. So as you see at the back, that little flap is now hanging over, so I'm just connecting or gluing that also. So you just need to make sure that you obviously slide it well in, and obviously make sure that you score it or make it nice and flat. So now we've got our first little sort of flip over. The third envelope we're going to put glue together a little bit later. But first what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these lines a bit straight, just so it looks more like a traveler's notebook cover than an envelope. I mean, it's absolutely optional. You don't have to do it. This is just an easy way to make this cover with these 2 side pockets on the various sides. I'm sure you can use some cardstock also, and you can make this type of flip over for your traveler's notebook or your junk journal. But this is just a fun way of doing it. So what I'm going to do is I've print extra printables from the devotion, and I'm just going to create almost a spine backing where we're going to put our insert for our junk journal, just to make it a little bit more sturdier. I've scored it in the middle, so it's going to have a natural bend, and then I'm just going to glue it on. You can even use material or something else, maybe washi tape, just to make it a little bit sturdier, because obviously these office envelopes is not the most sturdiest. They're quite flimsy. But if you support it with cardstock and you made it a little bit sturdier, then it works well. So yeah, that is often I use elements from my devotion. I reprint it and I select elements and make my own ephemera. It's just helped me that you don't have to feel you have to get all the ephemera and buy all the things. Now this is the front cover. I've added this little quilt pieces and I sewn it on. The whole theme for this devotion is we're going to look for the thread of Jesus through the Old and New Testament. So we're starting this month with the Old Testament. So hence all the little cute little ephemera, sewing ephemera, as we're going to go through this journal and make it. You will see cute little quilt pieces and scissors and bobbins and things like that. I just adore the ephemera. I use some different ephemera also. I will link them all below. One lady is called Amy Delight, and I've used some of the little crochet granny squares also in here. And I've also used some of my own, like old magazines, sewing magazines and things like that, just to create this real junk journal sort of element. I just love junk journaling. That's just one of my other passions also. So I've made the inside. Now I'm going to put the third little envelope just to create that cover. Now this is where my insert of this devotion was getting a little bit too thick. So the idea is that this little element should fold over your insert, but I just couldn't. So I eventually was just laying it flat. But I will show you later. It will all become all clear later. So I'm going to decorate obviously the inside. I'm just using some heritage papers from Maggie Holmes, and maybe 1 or 2 other pieces also, but it's all from Maggie Holmes. Just to create, obviously you don't want just the background. So I've just measured it. I'm just going to cut it now. I love this sort of almost like a, what do you call it now? It's just faint lines on this pink paper, journal spot almost like of this pink paper from the Heritage Collection is beautiful. That piece I'm not going to keep because unfortunately when I've put my glue down, I made this mark on it. My glue or my hands was dirty, I don't know. So I'm just going to replace it with the leftover cardstock there. So because there's that white spot coming through from the inside of the envelope, I'm just using some of these leftover blue printables from the devotion just to obviously cover that white spots. You don't obviously have to do it. You anyway don't really see that bit because your insert of your traveler's notebook is going to be in there. So I'm just making sure that it folds easily and it easily will close. Now, what I'm showing you now, I've cut the spreads in half and I'm putting them together on a piece of paper just to make sure that it fits perfectly on that that paper. And then I'm folding it in half and I'm going to use, I think, 11 other exact pieces like that, and I can put it inside each other to create this little book. So what I'm doing this now, I make sure, obviously, when I'm going to stick these devotions together, that I'm putting the spread of part of the first spread next to each other. I'm just gluing that. I've marked it also with a faint pencil, the numbers of the spread, so I can't get confused. Obviously, you can go back to your printables and just make sure that you've got the right order. But yeah, it's just easier to do that. So this is now the first spread on that first bit. So then I just turn the book as you would have turned a normal book. I just turn it over and I'm going to put the second spread. So it took me quite a while to work it all out and see how it's going to work. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm a natural when it comes to things like that. I just learn on the job. But as I said, learn from my mistakes. Don't make the same mistakes. So I'm going to show you one more just to make sure you understand. So you just turn the page over again and you put your next spread. And then you go on and you fold this whole book. Now, obviously, the booklet is still loose. There's nothing in the middle. I'm going to keep it loose just to make it easier. So I'm just going to show you now. I've decorated a little bit more. I've decorated the back also with some Maggie Holmes printables. And now I might want to make a little slot so you can see there is actually a little pocket in there, which I'm going to put some journaling spots in. I'm just measuring the half of this traveler's notebook. So obviously my 2 half circles or the inserts is at the same level. So what I'm using is I'm using a round hole punch and I'm just sticking it halfway through so you can get that crescent effect. I'm sure you guys know already about that, but if you're new to this world, this is how you create that little spot. So as you can see, that side is now white. Luckily, I've had just the right piece, more or less the right size piece, just to tuck in there to get rid of that white spot there. Obviously, you can also sort of cover the whole insides from the beginning. That probably would have been better, but I didn't want it to waste paper like that because nobody can anyway see inside there. So now I've put my little bundle together. I've used some inserts, old magazines, old vintage books just to create this junk journal style. I'll obviously give you a flip through. I'm just showing, this is a little sewing little magazine from Cath Kidston. I love Cath Kidston. It's an English company and they make the most beautiful home decorations. And usually when we go to England, I make sure that I've saved a little bit of money so I can visit the shop and buy a few things. They usually do beautiful cups and saucers and napkins. I just love that style. So I'm decided to use that cute little sewing kit box for my front cover, hence the whole theme of sewing and the thread of Jesus in the Old Testament and the New Testament. And I'm just going to back that big story with some cardstock just to let it make it pop out, just to obviously show this is the name of this devotional and this is what we're talking about. So this is the front cover. So now I'm going to do the back cover. I love the back cover. It was also part of that little magazine. I'm almost sad that I didn't use this for the front cover, but I think the front cover also looks cute. So I've just cut it to size and I'm going to put it on top of there just to create the backing of the junk journal. So what I'm going to use, that leftover piece there on the right hand side, I'm going to use that as almost a little, I'm going to connect my thread around it so I can close as a closer for my traveler's notebook. So I'm just backing it on cardstock just to make it a little bit sturdier, because obviously that was just a little magazine and it wasn't very sturdy. And then I'm going to put it on foam tape. Just to make it more bendable and durable. And I'm also going to cover it with contact plastic. As you can see, I've done it now there. And I've put some hole punches in there, because obviously that is where you can create your thread to make this little hook to close your closer for your junk journal. So yeah, I'm just looking through it. That's the middle. So what I wanted to do is, I didn't want to sew this in. I wanted to keep it loose so I can slide it out. So I can take it out and I can do my journaling and slide it back. So this is my second mistake I made. I made these hole punches hopelessly too deep in there. When you make a traveler's notebook, you need to make sure that your inserts are fitting perfectly between the two hole punches. Now I've made that hole punch hopelessly too deep in there. I made it work at the end. It was not at the end of the world. So as you can see, I thread my elastic through the two hole punches. So I made it work. It's not going to last forever. It's not perfect, but I'm happy with the end product. So what I'm going to use is, now I'm going to do all the decorations, the fun bit. I'm going to use the ephemera from the devotion, and I'm just going to decorate it. So this is my final product. Sorry, I didn't show you how all the decorations went, but otherwise this video will be very, very long. So I've got this cute little scissors, which I picked up from a craft store actually a while ago, and I was so happy when I saw it, and I thought it will work perfectly. I used some crocheting to crochet my elastic around it, and I've done some sewing on my traveler's notebook. Not very neatly, but it worked very well. So inside I created this cute little envelope, which, first of all, I'm just showing you that beautiful ephemera from Amy Delight. I'm just bringing my camera a bit closer so I don't have to lift up my traveler's notebook the whole time. I love that sewing machine. It's so cute. I made this little envelope and I've tucked the badges. So as you work through the devotion, you almost get these little badges. It's like a real summer camp, and some journaling spots inside there. So I can reach for that if I need some more. And when I complete a section, obviously I can give myself a little badge. Okay, this is the front cover with that cute little sewing box, which I love. And I'm going to show you now how this works. As I said, if I want to do some journaling and I feel it's too bulky, I can just slide it out. These are my elastics. And it's all loose. So it's a no sewing junk journal or traveler's notebook. So it's all loose. So when, as I said, when I want a piece of paper and when I want to write on it and it's too bulky, I can just take it out and slide it. So here's obviously where the problem comes in a little bit, because that hole punch is not it's too deep in. But yeah, as I said, luckily I'm not selling it or I'm not giving it away. It's just for me. Now at the inside with the pockets, I've put these journaling spots. That is from Brave Little Tailor, just to have some more spots to do some journaling if I want. There's also some journaling spots that come with the ephemera, and yeah, that is. Yeah, I love that crochet little block. That's also some journaling spot. That is from, oh goodness, I can't think now what the name is. I will put everything down below. So what I'm also showing you, that is the devotion, and when I put together, that's the inserts, which I've just used as a junk journal style. And this is also from the Calf Kitchen magazine. That piece of paper is just a digital photo of a quilt. And I've made my own tags. You can buy the tags also in the Illustrated Faith shop, but I made my own tags by taking some elements from the devotion and created it into a tag. Some more journaling spots. And made my cute little tag with the sewing machine. I'd love to have a little sewing machine like that. So cute. And there I've used that quilt to make a little tuck spot with some more tags and a little granny square printable from Amy Delight. She's on Instagram, and she's also got an Etsy shop. And some more tags there, and I've just used all the ephemera just to add some more interest, some more journaling spots. That's inside, obviously. And I love that little button card there, it's very cute. And I made my own little book which I sewn, which I can do some more journaling in, and just tuck it up there just to have create some journaling spots, because I think it's very important. I'll definitely do some Bible entries, but as I study through it, just to put down my thoughts and what I learn, just I think it's very important. It's bobbin. Oh, that little pin cushion is beautiful. Another little card I made myself, and another little tuck spot. This printables is also from Illustrated Faith. I think they are from, yeah, I'll link them down below. And that quilt piece I can also use as a journaling spot. And some more journaling spots. I found some doilies. I was very lucky. I went into a sort of more florist shop, and they sold these beautiful pink and blue doilies. So I'm happy, very happy to have my doilies back. And this is obviously now the inside. I've just decorated that also, and there's some more journaling spots there which I can put some things in there. So I'm just going to show you how it was supposed to be. It was supposed to flap over there and close it, but obviously it doesn't want to, so I'm just flipping it back. And then the inside, not the end of the world. So yeah, that is my final journaling. I hope you are inspired by that. Let me know how you're working through the revival kit, or you're going to work through it, and how you're going to do it. Give me a like if you enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider so. I'd really love to have you on board. I'm just leaving you with some close-up photos. You must have a fantastic Saturday and weekend. God bless you, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.